Gonna be honest, don't really know what I'm doing.
He was often a player that I would buy on Football Manager.
It's already a terrible reason.
From Jon Snow, Matt puts Dan's wardrobe to shame.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Look at him, the cat that got the cream.
Ian Taylor said it was the worst thing he'd ever seen in his life. Monk, really, what's he? I know he's manager. What kind of say is
Gary Monk, 5 out of 10.
I haven't finished yet. I cannot believe Gabby had Bardell.
That's crazy,
That's
isn't
terrible. It? Yeah, we may well have lost listeners early doors again with a long-winded intro. Go, shoot. Hello, welcome back to the Villa View podcast episode 18. Finally, the time has come where we've given Tom Julian the boot. His performances have not been good enough, so we've invited Christopher Dolan, all the way from Northern Ireland, even though you don't live in Northern Ireland, to take his place. Obviously, Tom hasn't really been sacked. It's just the fact that he's on holiday, and I needed to think of something quickly.
He did give you a hand, though, mate.
He has already given us a hand. Dolan stitching me up.
Maybe give him a bit of praise, I think.
We'll have less of that kind of talk. Yeah, I did have some technical issues setting up the booth. Me and Tom probably should have gone through this last week, but we didn't. So I'll apologise in advance if there is any technical issues, because it has been me setting it up with Tom on FaceTime from his holiday. But he is having a nice time. Everyone will be pleased to know. So let's get into it. Let's first of all introduce you properly. So Chris, you've been a friend of the channel for about a year now.
Yeah,
I say
much, yeah.
A lot of the good stuff we've done has actually come through you.
Since the Liverpool embarrassment, really.
Yeah, is that when you started watching the Villa View?
I saw it, yeah, because I was really crying out for a fan channel. You know, I think you look at Arsenal Fan TV, and it's nice. It's nice for fans to have their own say. And when you guys were starting off, I was like, yeah, this looks like a really, really good thing. So it's just obviously gone from strength to strength, hasn't it? You know, so it's been great. In my expert opinion, I'm just looking at the audio levels, Chris. I think you are going to have to speak higher, a bit louder. You've got a very quiet voice. So why do you support Villa, Chris? Because people won't know. People have heard you mentioned, and obviously you were on the other week when I was on holiday. Yeah. But obviously it's a bit. I actually don't know myself why you support Villa. Well, for starters, there was quite a big Irish contingent to playing for Villa at the time. So '93, we had the likes of McGrath, Townsend, Houghton, Staunton, to name a few.
Yeah.
And my second cousin, believe it or not, moved to Birmingham, and they live quite close to Villa Park. And they came back home one Easter time to Belfast, and I was going to support Liverpool. My brother supports Liverpool.
My boss is from Belfast, and he supports Liverpool. Yeah,
so I was about to go down the road of supporting Liverpool, and then my second cousin Michael came back and said, "Well, you should try Aston Villa. They're a pretty good club, very successful. They live quite close to the grounds." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, that'll do. Nice kit."
Yeah,
and then there was that Irish contingent, so you would always see like Villa shirts. If you used to go down south to Cork or something, or Dublin, you'd always see the odd Aston Villa shirt knocking around. The old Muller sponsor.
Yeah, my first shirt. I saw you said the other day that was your first shirt as well.
Yeah. So that's it really. And then my first ever game was away to Arsenal, Highbury, Boxing Day '94, and it was 0-0. Big John Fashanu led the line, and it was pretty.
Red. Do you have red boots on? He likes a red boot.
He did have the red Quasars, yeah, and we had that lovely green jersey. It was a really great kit, that. But,
I remember it well.
Yeah, so that's it, man. That is it. The rest is history. Haven't looked back.
Yeah. So Chris is actually, for those of you who don't know, I mean, we talk about it quite a lot, but the first two people we ever interviewed, ex-Villa personnel and current Villa personnel, I suppose, because they're still involved in the club, were Ian Taylor and John Gregory, and that came through Chris, who's good friends with them. So to give you a thanks,
pleasure.
in front of everyone for sorting us out.
Always nice to help out friends. Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty successful little interview. I thought it was good. Yeah,
and now me and Ian Taylor are best friends, so that's gone well.
Yeah, he's taken me off his favourites and put you on.
As he's not speaking to you much anymore really, since I've come on the scene.
Dan Bardell this, Dan Bardell that.
It's like a jealous ex. Yeah.
A little bit, mate, yeah.
Shall we move on to some actual football?
Yep.
As Tom would say, let's segue into some football. Right, so last night I had the mispleasure of going to Villa Park to watch our 2-0 defeat against Middlesbrough. I'm not too fussed about it. I can see why it happened, but there was a few people who weren't happy. Where do you stand with it? Because I think when we were talking earlier off camera, you were saying you're into the cups and that's the things you remember.
It's a bit 50-50. If you had said to me last night, would you rather beat Borough and progress to the next rounds, or win on Saturday? I would have said win on Saturday.
Yeah.
But listening to you speak to Tails yesterday on the pre-match, you know, his fondest memories and his biggest achievements was winning the League Cup in '97. 96, sorry. And a team is judged on their history, on their trophies and what they've won. They're not judged on finishing 4th or finishing 5th. They're judged on winning trophies. And my probably most memorable game as a Villa fan was the semi-final against Liverpool in the FA Cup.
Did we lose? We lost, didn't we?
We won 2-1.
Oh, sorry. I've gone way back
because
we were taking a trip down memory lane. I was thinking of the one we lost 3-0.
So the thing is, like, so as a fan, my sort of greatest Villa memories have all been in cups. You look over the years, like when we beat Inter Milan, the Phil King penalty.
Yeah.
Getting to Wembley in '94. Those amazing games with where Stan scored that great goal.
Atletico Madrid.
The Madrid game, yeah. So, you know, all those memories, and they're all cup games.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but do you not think now, just playing devil's advocate a little bit, because I'm kind of on the fence with it, really, and people will say I'm always on the fence, probably, but times have changed. Realistically, the Cup isn't as big a draw as it's going to be. I mean, the FA Cup isn't as big a draw as it used to be, and the League Cup is even less so, even though, like you say, like my fondest memories have come in the Cups as well. But the fact is, we're in the Championship. We ain't going to win the League Cup. It's no good us progressing to the quarters, the semis, picking up injuries and whatnot if we play our first team and do well. I mean, I don't think that would happen anyway. But if we suddenly do that and then it's affecting our league form, people are going to say, oh, why did you take the Cup seriously? So to me, I think we can't have it both ways. I think people understand the team selection last night. And yeah, it was a disjointed performance, but it's always going to be with the team selection like that.
Bruce made a good point. It was more about getting the young guys first team experience, and that's what it's all about. If we can build for the future, I mean, I think you said your man of the match was Doyle Hayes last night.
Yeah, he's a good player. You know, he looks like he'll be a good player.
People were saying that O'Hare was just as good as Grealish, from what they saw.
I don't know about that.
You were there.
He's got a very, very big future. He's very, very raw at the moment. I wouldn't say he's at the level of Jack yet, and I don't think Jack's reached the levels that he's capable of yet by a long way. I think there's a long way to go for him, although I do think he's a very, very good footballer. Everyone knows that I really, really, really like him and rate him. I thought one of the notable things from last night was, I said it was a disjointed team. I mean, we had one left footer in the side, and that was the goalkeeper. So that's no good. So every time Hutton and Bjarnason were running down the wing on the left, we just became so narrow because there was no width in the side at all. You have your full-backs usually creating the width, but Hutton, he ain't got a left foot. It's not his fault.
No.
I was surprised Delat didn't play there. To be honest, and Delat had a bad game.
I'm surprised Snodgrass didn't play and Kodja didn't play at least half an hour. Sorry, at least 60 minutes.
He just didn't want to risk him, did he? I mean, that shows where it is in our priorities. I mean, even at the slight hint of a Hogan knock, apparently he was taken off as well. But what I did think was notable was that Doyle Hayes and O'Hare were the only two that really linked up well. Yeah. But that's because they're used to playing with each other. Yeah. No one else in that team's really used to playing with each other. There's no partnerships in there. There's no core to that side that are used to playing with each other. I mean, Samba and Elphick, they'll have never played together at centre-back before. And to be honest, until the sending off, the game was in the balance. The sending off is what's killed the game. I mean, I haven't seen it back, but I understand it was a definite penalty, definite sending off.
Of course, the fans then say, when we went down to 10 minutes, it only took Borough an extra 5 or 10 minutes to score a game, whereas we had a whole half. We had a whole 70 minutes last week.
I think it's different now. I mean, Borough had a relatively strong side out last night, actually. I mean, they rested a few, but they had a lot of the players that played on this Tuesday played the previous Tuesday. Ben Gibson in defence, Ashley Fletcher came on in that game. So there's players that were involved in that game that played. It was a real shadow squad for Villa. 11 players who didn't play at the weekend. There wasn't one
even
that played.
Even the bench was full of players that wouldn't really get in our match day squad.
No, I mean, obviously McCormack ended up coming on.
I heard he looked okay. He looks a bit trimmer as well. I haven't seen much of that. I've seen a bit of the highlights, but you were there. I mean, he looked a little bit leaner.
Yeah, fair enough. He looked in good condition, and to be fair, it's difficult for him to come on and affect a game like that because he came on late in the first half, and then we got man sent off in the second half. So he's never going to shine. Arguably should have had a penalty, but as I understand it, he isn't going to play in the league. He's not going to get picked. He was just. I mean, the fact he hasn't started the game seems like a little bit of a statement to me. I mean, I was thinking about that. Him and Richards were playing a reserve team. Him and Richards can't get in the reserve team, so that probably tells you what you need to know.
£85,000 worth of wages sitting on that bench.
It's not good.
It's a killer, isn't it?
It's not good. We've got some serious wage issues at Villa. So many players. I mean, I don't think we probably won't see Tommy Elphick in a Villa shirt again now after his red
It's
card.
a little bit of a Joris Okore game. Do you remember last season against Luton?
His farewell, the long farewell.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he's stuck here till January.
Well, exactly.
Whatever he does.
Yeah.
I haven't got a massive problem with Elphick. I think he tries too hard.
I do. I think he's a bit of a rabbit in a headlights. Is that a correct?
I know what you mean. Or bull in the China shop, maybe.
Yeah, he's a little bit. He just needs to relax a little bit. I mean, do you remember his first game against Sheffield Wednesday, and he was like geeing the crowd up. He's like, just calm down a bit. Focus. You don't see Terry wailing too much. He has a few words, but that's it. Elphick just looks like he's, like you say, he's very, very eager to impress, and he overdoes it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rash tackle. Someone of his experience. I mean, he's on a yellow card as well. Let the guy go through. If they go 1-0 up, okay, you're still in the game. And to be fair, there was every chance Jed Steele would have saved it, in all honesty. So it seemed a very, very silly decision. And as soon as we've gone one down with 10 men, we're in big trouble. You pretty much know the game's over. And then 10 minutes later or whatever it was, Cross comes in. Bjarnsson's at left back. He's not a left back, but he should have done better. And you could tell it was written all over his face. He knew he should have done better with the aerial challenge. And you're 2-0 down, and it's game over. I mean, we ended the game with McCormack on his own up front, and like you say, look, Trim, he tried hard, but he's never a lone frontman, ever.
No, but then is Miss Hogan a lone frontman? They're very similar.
Wow.
They're very similar in stature. But I suppose we could go on about this all night, couldn't we? Really?
Yeah, Hogan again. I mean, he makes the runs. No one really found him. I think O'Hare was playing more of a right midfield role rather than playing the number 10 in the other games. O'Hare's been the number 10 playing very close to Hogan, and that's worked quite well. Yeah. But Onuma was the one who was playing closest to Hogan last night. Hogan didn't get the ball, didn't really miss any chances, didn't do anything wrong, and then looked mightily annoyed when he was substituted. But apparently Bruce did that for his own good. But he must be a frustrated player. We talk about it every week on the podcast and on the Villa View that I think he's a good player.
He's a quality
it's just
player,
not working for him
at
Villa
right
at the moment. Someone did. I mean, we'll come on to questions later, but someone has asked a question about Scott Hogan, so I won't talk about it too much for now. But I think we as fans, I mean, there's a few boos at the end. I think we can't have it both ways. If we want to have a playoff push, then you have to write the cups off. For me, do you agree?
I do agree.
I know.
It's all about the league, and as I said, it is all about the league, and we want to get out of that championship as quickly as possible. But as I said, a cup. When you edge closer and closer to that semi-final and that final, it does becomes a pretty special occasion. But as I said, it's all about Forest. It's all about 3 points, and it's all about kicking on, and then Burton on Tuesday night, just keeping that league form going as well.
I think he's always must win with Villa at the moment, anyway. But I think the way we've picked the team, the 11,000 that were there, and we'll come on to the attendance, were a little bit frustrated, but if the ends justify the means and we beat Forest on Saturday because we've got fresh legs.
Exactly.
Because I don't know off the top of my head whether Forest have played a game midweek in the
They're
cup.
playing tonight.
They're playing tonight,
yeah.
I mean, you presume they'll do a reserve side well. So really it makes sense for me. I'd have liked to have seen a little bit of a better performance. Obviously I've made the effort to go, and there's 11,000 other people that have made the effort to go. But if we win Saturday, and to be honest, we probably will win Saturday because I can't go to the game because I'm at a wedding.
Just cast that.
So no, we will. Whenever I miss a game, we win. Guaranteed. Even when seasons we've been rubbish, if I'm not there, I mean, I only miss 1 or 2 a season max at home. They always manage to turn it on when I'm not there, and we broke the TV curse last week.
Yeah,
let's talk about the Barnsley game.
Yeah, it was
a little bit. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I texted you beforehand, and you did think it was a 4-4-2. And it was a 4-4-2, and it worked really well. And it was good to see Codger linking up and bringing Davis into the game, and he was closer to Davis. We did say against Brentford and against Borough in the league game that Davis looked a little bit isolated up top because there was no one around him. Whereas you had Snodgrass, you had Adoma, who I thought was man of the match. I thought he was brilliant.
Like Adoma, don't you?
I do. I mean, he always just seems to me, and he can be frustrating. People sort of say he hasn't got much of an end product, but he did have, was it 10
assists?
10 assists last season. He always seems to make something happen.
I think he's one you can't level the end product at, to be honest.
And he plays football like he really enjoys it, and he seems like a really really sort of nice guy, really good guy, and a really good guy to be around the dressing room as well. And for me, he was my man of the match.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he scored 2 goals. He took his penalty well, did well for the first goal, put the keeper under pressure. Although let's face it, the keeper should have done.
But at least he made that run past Davis.
Yeah, that's what we haven't been doing.
That's what we haven't been doing. It's like our midfielders have kind of been too static, and they watch Instead of just get into the box, and that's what can happen if you take that little bit of it's that risk and reward. You know, he was there. And it was a mistake, and Adoma was there to mop it up and score, and it was 1-0, and it didn't really look back after that, I don't think.
No, I think you talking about Adoma, I think I'm one of the ones that sometimes says he can be frustrating.
But he can be, I would still say he can be quite frustrating.
But then is there a Villa player that isn't frustrating?
Well, exactly.
Especially in recent times, I think we've had our fair share of frustration. One thing that I thought stood out in that Barnsley game, I thought John Terry was absolutely magnificent.
He was good against Borough as well, I thought. But
he's growing into it now. It sounds silly to say for someone like John Terry, but he is growing into the role of Villa captain.
The guy spent his entire career at one club. It's going to take a while to sort of get used to his surroundings. He'll never have played against oppositions like that as well. So for me, you're right. He was fantastic. He had his best game in a Villa shirt, and we didn't. I mean, for once, it was nice to see we didn't really ever look like we were under any trouble. And I never felt they were going to score.
I've got to be honest, it was my birthday and I'd had a bit to drink, so my memory is a bit hazy of the game. Did they have a little spell at the start? But
I mean, they had the ball, but they didn't do anything with it. And they had that chance at the very end where they it just brushed past the post. But apart from that, and I mean that would have been consolation. So apart from that, we looked really good. I think El Mohammadi, you got to keep him at right back.
You like him there?
Well, I don't love him as a footballer. I think he's a little bit clumsy. But I think his best position so far in the Villa shirt this season has been right back.
Got 2 assists, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He played the ball for the first goal as well.
No, Chester played the.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah,
I thought El Mohammadi got 2 assists.
He pinged it across.
He put the cross in for he definitely put the cross in for Davis's goal. How much of a good will that do him to get off the mark? Because it feels like in a way it's been a long time coming, because he's been playing well without getting the end product.
Really well, and all it's been missing is a goal. I mean, I hope he can kick on. It wasn't a great header, was it?
I think the keeper should have done better.
The keeper should have done better, but
last time I said the keeper should be doing better, I was getting questioned on the podcast when I said that about the Adoma goal in the cup.
But again, you watch his movement. If you watch him before the goal, he's always watching what El Mohammadi's going to do, and he just breaks in and he holds his run, and he's just in the right place at the right time. And if you head the ball down and on target,
you're
always going to make the keeper work. And I think their keeper had a bit of a shocker.
One thing I've been thinking about with Davis is, I mean, I think we'll stick with 4-4-2 for a bit now. And we're going to come on to Grealish as well, but I think when Grealish is back, we might alternate and occasionally go for the 1-1.
Yeah.
But I think Hogan would be better in a 4-4-2 if he had Davis next to him. I don't think we've tried that combination
yet. He played 4-4-2 against Hull, him and Gabby up front. And he didn't.
Nah, Gabby was on the left in that game. Gabby was on the left. I think he changed it at some point, possibly in a few of the games he's done it, but I think Keenan Davis obviously can hold the ball and win the flick-ons. I think Hogan would benefit from having a partner like that next to him, because except for when he's played with O'Hare, he's been too isolated.
But then do you move Kodja
that's
out to the flanks, and you can't really keep out Adoma, and he isn't going to keep out Snodgrass because he's got to play, because he brought him in and he knows all about him. So for me, the team kind of picks itself at the minute. You've got that front four of Adoma, Snodgrass, Davis, and Kodja. I think Kodja almost plays off Davis
as a kind of 10.
So it's kind of like a 4.
I know what you mean. I mean, we tend to do that, Villa. One of the striker drops deeper, and Kodja can pick the ball up and carry it. So yeah, that makes sense.
So we're very kind of adaptable going forward.
I know what you mean. He's kind of an unorthodox number 10, because he's not playing as a number 10, because let's face it, his passing ain't great.
No.
But he's kind of playing off him.
He looked good though, didn't he? He looked really strong.
Considering how much football
good.
He's missed, he did very well. I mean, he looked good when he came on against Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
In the league game, nearly scored. Good save from the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, we've actually got so many options now that I don't think there's an excuse with this squad.
There's not. No, I mean, it's the best squad we've had since O'Neill's days. I think on paper, that squad, that team on paper is a top 12 Premier League.
I don't know about that.
I do, honestly.
I think that's an ambitious shout.
I don't think so.
I think that's up there with your 18 point.
No, well, I'm sure that'll. Yeah, I do. I really do. I mean, you look at the likes of Huddersfield. It's all about, and even whenever Bournemouth came up, they kept pretty much that same squad from League One. It's all about confidence. It's football, sport. It's all about confidence. It's all about mentality. It's all about believing in yourself. Every footballer that plays at a professional level, deserves to be there. So they're clearly good enough at what they do. For me, sport, it's all in the mind, man. It's all up there.
I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think if we win the league and go up this season, add one or two.
I think you're dreaming there, Chris. But
well, in an ideal world, if we go up somehow, either top 2 or playoffs, and keep that winning mentality going, I think that squad's more than capable of finishing top 12.
I think we would have an almighty relegation battle with that squad. I'm going to be honest. For this league,
Newcastle as well.
For the league,
I mean, they've got
Rafa Benitez.
Well, exactly. But their squad's not. Their first 11's not amazing, is it?
No, but I think some of their players are actually better than. I mean, I had them to go down. To be honest, that was perhaps a bit naive of me. But you look at like someone like Kieran Clark, who's obviously criticised a lot in the Villa show, but he looks good.
He looks
for
solid,
Newcastle in the Prem. He looks very good for him. Him and Lascelles look like got a decent partnership. Newcastle are up there.
Yeah.
At the moment,
3 in the bounds.
I just think we'd be relegation fodder.
I personally don't, and I've said that for a while now. I think I think we're in such a luxurious position. We've literally gone out and handpicked the best players in that league, and we still seem to make it hard for ourselves.
Well, Barnsley game's actually the first one I remember as being comfortable for a long time, arguably since the first home game of the previous season against Rotherham.
Yeah, but that was the last game, I think, that we've kind of really bossed it.
Yeah,
you're right.
Even when we've won, it's not been comfortable.
It's never.
And it always feels like we're hanging on at the end. Obviously.
Yeah.
There was none of that, and now we've had 3 clean sheets in a row. It looks like the defences.
Yeah, because we were leaking. We were shipping a few too many early
silly goals as well.
Really silly goals. Even against Norwich, we conceded 2 fairly sloppy goals. I felt, especially whenever Terry got caught out of position. But yeah, I mean, I think Sam Johnston's looking pretty.
Yeah, he's the contender for making Bardell look a mug in 2017.
I think he has done.
Oh yeah.
To be fair,
I stand by the fact that he wasn't great when he first joined, and I just liked Galena. I did like Galena. Galena's doing very well in Italy, actually. As an aside, and he's someone that we actually own.
We own him, yeah.
Yeah. Johnston, if he continues and we don't go up, he will not be at Villa next season.
No.
Which will be upsetting because he actually looks very, very good.
Real talent.
He's hit a level that I didn't think he was capable of from what I saw last season in the Villa shirt, but he has absolutely bossed it in goal this season. 3 clean sheets in a row. And to be honest, it's mainly down to him because those 2, the Brentford and Middlesbrough games, he made some really, really good saves.
Let's not talk about Brentford at home.
No.
Let's move on.
Yeah. What else did I want to talk about? Touch on the Forest game now a little bit, just a touch. Would you stick 4-4-2? Would you stick with it?
I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. I mean, we were saying before the Bristol game, why would you change a winning formula?
He won't do that again.
He won't do that again.
I mean, I think he will keep the same 11.
I think barring injuries, I think he'll keep the same 11. Maybe possibly Jednak if he's
not going to be fit by the sounds of it.
And I thought, going back to the Barnsley game, I thought Willian had a really good game.
I like.
If you look at the build-up before the cross, he won the header in the centre.
He's a competitor.
He really, he gets stuck in. I thought he was very good. It was by far our best performance of the season. So most players had their best game, but he'd be mad to change that.
I'm just going to throw a spanner in the works slightly. Something that worries me about 4-4-2. I worry about the legs in midfield against a better side because Barnsley, let's face it, weren't great.
No.
On Saturday, we got away with the two in the middle, Whelan and Horahan. If that was against a stronger Championship side, no disrespect to Barnsley, I think the legs in midfield would be an issue, and I worry that legs would be an issue against Forest, maybe. We're a team to me that against the better teams would always need 3 central midfielders because we get overrun a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and give Bakuna his dues. Whenever he slotted into that 4-3-3 that we played last season, when Bruce first came in, he was the engine, wasn't he?
That's why he was in the team. It's the only reason he was in the team. Do you see what I mean about the energy in central midfield?
I mean, you look at Lansbury. I mean, if he's fit, would you start him? I mean, it's the kind of game where you think you'd do something silly.
He was putting in some good deliveries actually before he went off injured last night. He was looking good.
Can you not see him getting sent off on Saturday?
No, that's true against Forest. Well, he's injured now, so I don't think he'll be playing. Anyway, I was thinking about who, if we had to play 4-4-2 every week, who would be the 2 that would play? And I couldn't come up with a combination other than Horahan and Lansbury, to be honest. I know they're very similar, but I think they're the only two that have got the legs to play in it. I don't think Onama's defensive game's strong enough to play in it too.
No, but I think with our attacking options, I mean, I think with the two centre midfielders, they don't need to come too far forward. It's more
Horan wants to, though.
He wants to, but it's more a case of getting the ball and just pinging it and just spreading it out of the wings. You know, that for me is where we are at our most dangerous, especially with the likes of Kodja and Davis.
Do you not think you're then limiting Horan's best facets of his game if you're not asking him to come forward? And then if he is coming forward, you're left with just Whelan, who hasn't got the legs. As much as I think he's a good player and he's going to be an asset, he hasn't got the legs to play in a two.
No.
It's the same with Jedinak. I don't think he's got the legs for a two anymore. So I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit. I think this is why I don't see 4-4-2 as a long-term solution.
It's not something I've ever really thought about, so I'm a little bit kind of...
I've thrown you.
You've thrown me a little bit because I don't really know how we could go about it and who else could possibly come in.
You can, some games, home games, away games against weaker opposition, you can probably play it because you expect to be on the front foot. But I just think against the better teams in the Championship, I think we come a cropper on the break. I think we get ripped to shreds. Because you've got to remember as well, we're not exactly blessed with pace at centre-back.
No.
I know Chester's pretty quick.
He's quicker
John
than Terry,
Terry's obviously not the quickest, being 37 years of age. Just let us know in the comments what you think. That's just me. Mate, I'm slouching very far down in my chair as well. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I've morphed into... Because we've had a lot of defensive managers, maybe I've turned into a defensive fan.
What do the Villa fans think is the best formation? I think I like that 4-3-3 that we played. Whenever we went on that little run when Bruce first came in, that for me was the most effective. You look at Blackburn when we went one down, Cardiff. I thought that was our best formation. 4-4-2 for us last season didn't work.
No,
at all.
No, and let's face it, only worked one game so far.
Yeah, but we have better players this season to go and do that.
That's true. I mean, a lot of teams that go up have played 4-4-2, pretty much. So
I mean, look at Leicester.
Yeah, well, Leicester winning the league with a 4-4-2. I mean, it can be done, but then you say that. Who did Leicester have in central midfield?
Kante.
Yeah, and he does the work of 7 men.
He does
in the midfield.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right. No, I agree.
just think I think long term, I'm not sure it's viable. I'd love to be wrong.
What about like someone like Doyle Hayes? Is he ready to come into the fold? Because he seems like he's got a real engine. He's very box to box.
He reminds me like Stephen Davis actually. I thought he was our best player last night. He reminds me very, very much of Stephen Davis, the way he gets around the pitch, the way he's always involved.
Yeah.
Although I didn't think Davis was great in a Villa shirt, but he developed into his career. Maybe we did let him go. Let him go too early. I think if you're playing Doyle Hayes central midfield in a two, you're leaving out a lot of experienced players on big money.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Let us know in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm talking absolute pona, absolute waffle, but it's just something that I wrote down and that I'm thinking about. Whilst we're on the subject of team selection and whatnot, Jack Grealish is going to be back sooner than expected.
Yeah.
Where does he fit?
I saw his tweet.
Yeah.
But is there a time frame?
5 weeks, I think.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at about 7
He'll be
or 8.
back in training soon.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, you're probably looking at about 6 or 7 or 8 with match fitness. What does he? I mean, I think didn't Bruce say that the team was going to be based around him before he?
Yeah, he
did. He got the injury.
He did say that, but I think he wasn't expecting to have done so much business.
And
like, for example, Snodgrass.
He wouldn't have bought Snodgrass.
I think he still would have bought Snodgrass. I don't think Onama would be there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think he was a like for like, and I actually really like Onama. I think he's a good player.
He's been very, very good. I mean, he
didn't have his best game last night.
No,
but again, disjointed team. I think there's circumstances.
Not many did. Where does he fit in? Again, do you play him at home and then maybe leave him out for the away games?
So I get that school of thought. And but if you're going to play, I think he needs to be picked every week. I think there's a few Villa players that would benefit from running games, and I know you can't play them all. Bjarnason had not a good game last night. Has the guy ever played 90 minutes in his proper position? Probably not. He's ended the game at left back last night. He doesn't want to be left back.
No.
He did. Again, I get why people don't rate him. Obviously, everyone's got opinions. He's not showing himself in the best light sometimes, but I just think there's something there. I don't think he'd be a starter every week, but he does need that run of games to get him settled.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to come for him, to be honest, now.
He played well against Wigan.
Yeah, he worked hard, scored. Do you think now Green's injured, Grealish could come in on the left there? Or do you think that he's now a domus to lose?
We've had so many players.
I know we have got too many. It's kind of like it's horrible, isn't it? Not horrible.
It's a bit silly. I mean, we're blessed with 2 really good players.
Sometimes
pretty much
3 in some
in most positions. I mean, you've got a Doma who's now put himself into contention. How can you leave him out?
Well, you can't at the moment.
Green's had a really good start of the season.
He's out for 4 months, so I think we
He's
can probably write him off at the moment.
Snodgrass will play. El Mohammadi will possibly move back to right back.
He'll
so
stay there now,
that's
I would
him
think.
kind of there. Who else do we have? Kodja. Do you play him?
Sometimes you might have to play
up
him on
top,
the wing.
You might play him on the wing.
Options.
So
Options
you
galore.
know, or do you play Kodja on the left and then put Grealish in behind Davis and have Grealish as that real?
Maybe that might be an option, but then it comes back to the midfield 2 thing again for me.
But I think we're always going to struggle with that midfield too because we haven't got anyone else that has. We just haven't got legs.
No.
So
I think Bruce was expecting to play 4-3-3 this season. Whelan and Jedinak to rotate, Lansbury and Horahan in front. Oh, but then where does Grealish play? Because he said he was going to build it around. Let's face it, we don't know, do we?
We don't know.
But we've got the
We
crux of the
don't know.
situation is we have a lot of options. I don't think there's any excuse to not at least be top 6, and that's at the very, very
mate.
least.
Mate, should be like we should be walking that league. I mean, we really should be. I mean, it's not a great league, is it really, quality wise? But we just make.
I think it's
we
getting
just,
better.
We just make things so difficult for ourselves.
Do you not think the league's evolved a lot in the last 12 months? I think it's even like compared to last season, it's a lot stronger. You look at someone like Sheffield United; they come up from League One and they look very good. There's a lot of well managed and good teams in the Championship now. I think.
Yeah, but we should, you know,
Oh,
we should be looking down on those lot.
I know,
I mean,
we're not at the moment.
It shouldn't even be like, you know, in the mix down there. You know, it's at Newcastle. I knew that they were going to go up straight away. You just knew they would.
I didn't think that. Just because I thought they were a mess, but obviously I underestimated the Rafa Benitez factor for Newcastle. We just need a run of wins now. Now we've got that monkey off our back in September with the win, and we've beat Barnsley. The next 3 league games, really, we've got to be looking at not dropping any points for me. Who's the next 3? It's
We've got
Forest,
Burton,
and Bolton.
Bolton.
That has to be 9 points.
Oh, it's got to be 9 points.
And I mean, you obviously.
Well, I said.
Let's just talk about the elephant in the room a little bit now. Your 18-point prediction on the phone-in.
Well, do you know what it is? I mean, you know, we speak most days about Villa.
Yeah.
I never believe that we're going to go into a game and actually win it
Well, why did you say 18 points then?
because we should be winning them. Is what I meant. We should be winning these games. I mean, we should be beating Brentford. We should be beating.
We're lucky
Borough.
not to lose.
We should be beating Borough at home. Really,
I think that I don't think you can say that. I think they'll be up there. I think they're a strong unit, decent manager.
So we.
Yeah, but I think to say that we should just go and beat them, I don't think you can say that.
I thought so.
Okay.
I thought so. Barnsley away. Well.
We've gone and won that.
We've gone and won that game.
Yeah.
Forest at home. They've
Should
not.
win.
They've not had a great season.
I've got
Great
one of my
start.
favourite managers there, Forest, someone I've always liked, Mark Warburton.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's particularly worked his magic just yet.
Not yet. Not
They're
yet.
happy, the Forest fans, actually.
I think
follow
they're
a
just,
few
I
of
think
them
they're
on
just
Twitter.
happy. They're just happy with the new ownership. I think they're
Yeah.
happy to have a bit of a fresh start. I mean, last season we should have battered them. I mean, we were all over them.
That was the turning point.
That was
for
the
Di
turning
Matteo,
point.
wasn't it? Forest at home last year.
I mean, we were brilliant. We were brilliant that day, and yeah. So Forest at home, we've got to be beating those guys. But then Burton away. You look at Fulham on Saturday. They got beat by Burton 2-1. So
I know it's a funny league.
you can't.
Very funny league.
You'd be a fool. You'd be a fool to predict the scores, and you'd be even more of a fool to say that we're going to win every game in September.
Or say 18 points.
Say 18 points.
Right. Well, I'll leave that there.
We all
I'll let
make
you
mistakes.
Oh, mate, I think
We all
about,
make mistakes.
think about how much daft things I've said on the Villa View in the last 18 months and how much stuff can probably come back to haunt me. I sometimes think about some of the shouts I've made in my time at Villa and think, what have I done? Name me other than that 18 points, name me the worst thing you've ever thought about Villa. I think I've got mine. You name the worst shout you've ever made, if you can think of one.
Top 10 under Sherwood.
Top 10 under Sherwood. I don't think that's too bad. And obviously it didn't materialise. Right?
Oh no, actually, I've got one. I've got
Go
one.
on in. A quick change of heart.
Tom Fox bringing the club forward.
Oh God! Well, as someone who went and met Tom Fox and sat in his office, that man,
Oh.
a lot of baloney.
I
came
give
out
him my
of his
business
mouth.
card. I give them my business card.
Did you?
What was I thinking about them? What was I
Did
thinking?
you ever
about?
come in?
No,
No.
no.
I think Dolan is a friend of the Stars, by the way. He gives everyone his business card. I don't think he's ever given me one actually, but
I've got neither.
we've managed to stay in contact.
Yeah.
My worst ever Villa shout, without a doubt. You know when Benteke put that transfer request in,
The
first time.
The first time.
I said that wasn't a concern because there's the real star of Aston Villa is Paul Lambert. Because I genuinely thought at the end of that first season, when Benteke was actually banging in the goals, vibing out, Bardell were playing well, Westwood and Delph, I thought we were going places. I was severely wrong. I mean, in the end, we were going places at the Championship. But yeah, that was a particularly bad shout of mine back in the day.
But I tweeted something about 2 years ago saying, just after we went down, saying Paul Lambert did a better job than we give him credit for.
He had the better tools.
Well,
because when Sherwood came in, he got that team playing. He had better tools.
He did, but I think Lambert could see what was going on upstairs. I think he was just mentally drained.
I think he was dodging bullets every day.
I think he had just really fallen out of love with it. But
go then. No pride. That's the thing that annoys me. There's no pride.
There is that.
He wants the payoff, so he won't resign.
No,
because they want the money. There's a lot of people who've done bad jobs. I mean, I liked Lambert to begin with. I think it was his final season when I absolutely lost it with him because he couldn't defend it anymore.
No.
I mean, sometimes I look back and think maybe Alex McLeish wasn't that bad. But then did he have the tools? Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Listen, any manager that's kept us in the Premier League for all those years has looking at it now has done a pretty good job. Because we're struggling to get out of the Championship.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say that, to be fair, in my time as a Villa fan. Let's just quickly, because actually time's moved on pretty fast, Chris. 36 minutes in. Let's just talk the Villa View, because obviously it is the Villa View podcast. Just a couple of things that we've been doing recently. I feel like we're not as busy as we should be, or perhaps could be, at the moment. But we are actually working on an interview behind the scenes. I won't reveal who it is. It's not Marlon, by the way, for those who think it might be Marlon. But we are working on something behind the scenes. Yeah, we want to get Marlon on the podcast. Ideally,
do you?
Ideally, we'd have had him sat there today and not you. No offence. But he's a big.
What's he ever done?
He's just a star, mate. He's become a big piece of the Villa View furniture.
He's got a car company, hasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe I need to buy a car. Maybe that will get me in there. Maybe in exchange for him coming on the podcast, I might have to buy a car. Maybe Tom's in the market for a car because I've got a relatively new one. But we are working on an interview with the former Aston Villa legend behind the scenes. I'm hopeful that it will come through. I don't think I've actually told you about this yet. I'll talk to you after.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention it here just in case it doesn't come. No, I'm not whispering. Just in case it doesn't come off. I've got to apologise for the lack of match preview for the Middlesbrough Cup game. I think that's the first preview we've ever missed.
Yeah, I text you all the time.
I know, you always ask me where the previews
are. Love a preview.
You do love a preview.
Love your previews.
On your commute to work.
I do, yeah, they're great.
Yeah. Basically, Matt's rammed at the moment. Like, he's working about 17 jobs. Young Matt Lynch at the moment to put himself through uni. So give him some sympathy in the comments. And I was very busy earlier on in the week as well. So just the schedules haven't aligned. So there wasn't even time for us to do one individually. But we thought we'd get away with it because it was a cup game.
I think you have done as well.
And to be fair,
I think you have got away with
4 people turned up for fan cams. So I think there was a bit of ambivalence towards the cup game in general. But rest assured, there would definitely be a preview before Forest on Saturday. Me and Dan Rolinson, or Dan Rolinson and I, in proper English, we actually went to visit young Josh, who we've given a lot of shout-outs to previously on the Villa View, Josh Nicholson, who's battled with leukemia twice in his early young life, which is amazing. Horrible for him to have had to have done. But we went to see him at his home yesterday, saw him, his little brother and his mum, and actually his nan as well, to give him some gifts on behalf of the Aston Villa Foundation. So we got him a Sam Johnston shirt and a signed glove, Goldie glove, on behalf of the foundation. Just great to go and make him smile and represent the foundation.
Such an inspiration, those kids.
Mate, that kid's got
to go through what they go through. It's amazing how they always manage to smile as well. You know.
I mean, Tom Griffiths, who comes on fan cams, was on fan cams last night as well. He was brilliant. His own battles as well.
He was brilliant.
He was raging.
He was absolutely
raging.
Really good watch, wasn't he? He was brilliant.
I mean, I like to talk to him, and I think he talks a lot of sense for a 9-year-old. I think it was his birthday yesterday as well. So happy birthday, Tom. Not the best present.
He didn't have put his dad in it when he said, "My dad said that Steve Bruce has to go."
Yeah, shouldn't be dropping his dad in. I bet his dad was chuffed about that. So yeah, Josh is actually going to the Villa on Saturday. I think it's his first game for a long time since he's gone. So he's going to the Villa with his dad on Saturday. So if you do happen to recognise him and see him, then go and say hello to him and wish him the best, because I'm sure that would mean a lot to him coming from the Villa family. And there should be a video coming out on the channel hopefully this week. I should have checked with Dan Rolinson what was going on with that. So yeah, fan cams will be happening on Saturday, but we're not sure who's going to be doing them at the moment because neither me or Matt are at the game. Yeah, because I've had a stinker at a wedding all day. I say that, I shouldn't say that. It's not very nice, been invited to a wedding all day. But yeah, I needed the game to be moved to a Friday on TV. It got moved to a later time on a Saturday, so that's not very helpful. And finally, on the Villa View, I just wanted to thank the people that have left iTunes reviews. We're up to 54 now, so that's helping the podcast get recognised amongst the sports genre on podcasts. So if we could maybe let's try and get it to 60 before podcast 19 next week. That would be absolutely brilliant. Preferably 5 stars, as always, as we always ask for. Let's move on to the Twitter comments. And
a few good questions. There's that one about you in a hat.
I get a lot of stick about this hat, but when have I ever been in the hat in a podcast?
Noah.
Yeah, Noah's trying to dig me out, but could dig Noah out myself.
Fantastic.
Where is he? Where was he last night for fan cams? I didn't see him. Ginger Luke, Max, all these people. I bet it'd be nice to Max actually, because I think we're probably asking him to do the fan cams on Saturday. I'm trying to find some questions here, and I'm struggling. Tom always tells me off for not sorting this out before. So yeah, Noah wanted to know how you ended up supporting Villa, so we've already
tossing that at the start.
Gone through that. Yeah, a man in his 30s. I'm a young 32, as I said to Noah about the cap. Cristiano Ronaldo still does it. I believe he's older than me, but he also looks a lot different to me.
He's very cool, is he, Cristiano Ronaldo? Let's be honest.
Come on, Chris.
What?
You're asking for trouble there. Jatinder interacts with us quite often on Twitter. Hello, Jatinder. Has asked about Grealish fitting in, so I think we've covered that, but he says, would we have to change the system to accommodate him? I would change the system to accommodate him.
Yeah.
That's what I would, but I would do it. I'd build the team around him. That's just me personally. Longy Returns wants to know why you don't follow him on Twitter. You'll find that you'll get this quite a lot with the Villa View. No?
I don't know.
Maybe follow him. He's good value, to be fair.
Yeah.
Give him.
Actually, I think he gave me some stick
maybe
a few years ago.
Maybe that's why you don't follow him. Let's not get into personal gripes. Let's all be friends here. Surrey villain Jake says, should we sell Hogan in January while he's a sellable asset? Clearly he doesn't fit into the way we play, and it's a waste to not use him. I think we should adapt and make.
I agree.
He's a 20-goal a season player there, and if we're going to be scoring the 80 goals that Keith Warner's talked about, we're going to need him, Codger and Davis to all chip in. So we've got to change what we're doing with Hogan. We're not playing to his strengths. That's just my opinion. You the same?
I agree completely.
Yeah.
I think there's a really, really good player in there, and he's shown glimpses of it.
Yeah. I think there's a player there.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping it'll come good, but it is starting to turn into hope more than expectation at the moment, as things so often do with Villa. Dean AVFC, why is Keenan Davis one of our own? Song a thing. He quite clearly isn't one of our own. He's from Stevenage, and we got him from Biggleswade. That's quite a valid point, to be fair.
Yeah.
I've not thought about that. That is a good question. Only thing I can think of is that he's come through the academy. So if you come through the academy, you're one of our own.
One of our own.
Yeah, that's all I can really think about that. That's all we got for questions. I've got a question from Lob, who obviously comes on fan cams with his son quite a lot, but again wasn't there last night.
Oh, Lob, I know. He's the one. His son looks like exactly like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, they are spitting images. Yeah. Safe standing, where would we put that? Into the Holt end, at the side or behind the goal? Plus, would it work at Villa? I think it will come. I think we're big advocates of it from what
Keith
I've heard.
Say that
they're interested in it.
He'd been looking into it.
I think it's one of those things that's in its infancy. Again, I don't think he'd put it in the hole. Well, maybe he would put it in the hole because that's where the atmosphere is.
Or if Celtic have put theirs. If they put theirs kind of in a corner.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. It's a difficult one. It'd have to be in the north stand or the Holt end. Obviously, I don't think you could have it on the side. I don't think that would work for me.
I mean, how many does the Celtic safe standing hold essentially?
You're asking me questions that I'm never going to know the answer to. I don't know.
No.
If you do know, let us know in the comments, but that's not something that I do know. That's all we've got for questions. Bit of I think the Middlesbrough game, the cup's kind of ruined everyone's enthusiasm a bit, which is a bit frustrating because obviously we picked up a good league win at the weekend, but hopefully we'll get another 3 points on Saturday and all the mood will be ever changing and be happy.
Will we see a review on Friday?
Preview.
Sorry.
Yeah, there'll be a preview, 100%.
Yeah.
Might even see a match review. Well, actually, you probably won't see a match review because neither me and Matt are there, so that's going to be a struggle. Right, I think we'll end it there, 45 minutes in. Just want to thank Chris for coming and bailing me out because I really didn't fancy doing it on my own. I have to give Tom his due. He did very well presenting on his own.
That was a good show.
With a bit of,
very good show.
Some wild shouts in that show as well, as you've already heard. So yeah, I think Tom did very well. Apologies if there is any technical issues because we are literally relying on an idiot, myself, to sort all this stuff out. So there is every chance that something's gone wrong. You enjoyed your podcast debut?
Yeah, hopefully it's been all right. any tips or advice on how I could improve?
Don't ask questions like that.
Just leave
You're
it just below.
treading dangerous ground, asking for.
No, it's been good. I mean, you know,
critiques.
I could talk football all day, mate.
Yeah.
So always a pleasure. Thank you.
Maybe
very
we can
much.
squeeze you in again when Tom's back as well to get all three of us in. It
Possibly.
is very tight in here though.
Pretty small, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot smaller than you expected.
Yeah. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you
Good.
very much.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for everything you've done for the channel. You've been a good brother to the channel, done a lot of stuff for us.
My
So
pleasure,
we
mate.
all three of us and Tom,
My
we
pleasure.
all appreciate it. So yeah, if you have liked this podcast, then do give it a like on YouTube, and if you could subscribe on iTunes and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, that would be brilliant with your post notifications on. Comment below with any thoughts on the podcast, your thoughts on Villa, anything you think we should have covered. We'll try and answer it in the comments section. We'll get Chris on the comment section as well to answer any questions. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching and listening and all the support you give the channel. Hopefully we'll reward you with some new videos coming up soon. Stick with us, stick with the Villa. Cheers. Not going to say goodbye? No, he's a cavalier man. If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.